putting the spotlight on small businesses across America. This is Inside Business with Travis Filing and Gary Tharnish.
We're back on Inside Business. Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish. We are on to our guest now, and our guest today is David Staenberg from, is it the Smile Foundation or is it the Staenberg Family Foundation? I got confused.
The David Staenberg Family Foundation.
See, I had two options and they were both wrong. So there you go. So the David Staenberg Family Foundation.
Correct.
All right. Well, before we get into the foundation, give everybody kind of that 30,000-foot view. I know you have a background that is, you've lived 1,000 lives.
I have. I got sober 38 years ago.
Congratulations.
Became a drug and alcohol counselor right away, because that's what people do like I do. I'm a disabled veteran, 100% service-connected. Mental health counselor for 25 years. I still do a lot of mental health items to help people. My first foundation was the Wolf House. We took people in and out of prison. And then I got out of that business and it started out as Smile Out Loud Foundation. I did that because when I graduated college, I never read a book. I'm dyslexic. I have a couple other learning disabilities, so I found systems to build around the school. I got kicked out of 3 of them before someone said, "Oh, you don't know how to read." I said, "Nope, I just memorize everything." And then we changed it to the Staenberg Dyslexic Foundation. I get bored easily, so then I named it David Staenberg Family Foundation because it's hard to raise money for vets if you're a dyslexic foundation.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, my son is dyslexic. And
Alex is?
It's, yeah. And he had talked to legislature. I mean, he had done a lot when he was young. For people with dyslexia, because dyslexia was always, you're the stupid kid. You're the stupid kid,
yeah.
You can't read, you know.
Years ago, yeah.
And that's just how they categorized you.
Right.
And watching Alex, I mean, are there some negatives to it? Absolutely. You know, can he read a book? Takes a while. But I'll tell you what, his brain functions so differently. Dyslexics, their brains function so differently than everybody else's. And I almost think it's a gift in a lot of ways.
So I have a question about dyslexia. So is it like you're looking at a sentence and the words fall off at the end, or is it word by word the letters are scrambled? There's probably different levels.
There's like 10 or 15 different versions of dyslexia.
Okay.
Some people it's wavy. Some people need a purple or green screen to see it right. Words for me were, I would miss letters. Like smile for the longest time was SMLE. I didn't know there was an I in there.
Okay.
So I've corrected that over the years.
See, and like for Alex, it was if you see a word, hat, cat, sat, bat, right? He would have to sound it out almost every single time, where if you see the word cat, you know, the cat was black, the cat ran across the street. So he would sound out cat, but then he would get to that next sentence and he wouldn't recognize the word cat again.
Is that what you meant by memorization? Earlier you said you memorized a lot. So you'd like memorize smile, that it has an I, memorize cat. Okay. I just say that I had an employee whose son was dyslexic, and it was undiagnosed for years. Long story short, he ended up, getting a diploma from high school, but he couldn't read, and it was a challenge. Getting jobs was a real challenge because so many times they're like, well, here's this booklet, read this. Even a fast food restaurant, you had to be able to read what the instructions were and stuff. So what a challenge. Wow. And you really haven't done anything with your life considering you have dyslexia? I know
I
there's
have
like
3 college degrees,
oh my God.
and I never read a book in college.
I love you already. Okay, so me either, but I didn't get a diploma.
Yeah.
or me
I was gonna
either.
say, I don't have a
I can't
college
even
degree.
pronounce that right. My goodness. So audiobook or when like how?
Today, I do a lot of audiobooks.
Yeah, but then when you
Back
when
then?
did you get your college degrees? Like could be last year, I don't
94.
know. Okay. So how did you do that without reading?
So I started at a community college
Okay.
in Omaha, and I asked if they knew a good typist, and they introduced me to this young lady. And my friends read to me. I'd buy them lunch, and they would read to me. And every time they asked for a volunteer, I was up front. Because if I see it, hear it, or do it, I understand it. But reading it, even today, I have about a 4% comprehension. I've been ordained as a chaplain once. I can't tell you a thing in the Bible, but I made it through in 2 years. Someone read the whole thing. I joined the Army and I failed the test because you have to be able to read. And the recruiter read the test to me. I got a 98%.
Isn't that crazy?
Okay. So you're a genius with dyslexia. Got it. That's what that's going to be my go-to, David.
There are some amazing people that have dyslexia that you would never know, like Ben Carson, the surgeon who ran for president, dyslexic. Yeah.
You know, I have a client right now. I'm a real estate agent, and he's losing his eyesight. And so he's moving in with his sister, and we were house hunting, and he would, you know, he'd have to have the phone right by his face to be able to see it, and he could see more shapes and everything. But we're like looking at the garage, and he goes, those shingles have a lot of damage. And I'm like, okay, so you can see. I go, so how do you know that? And he goes, because I can see different hues of gray, and there's like a light gray and a dark. But why I'm bringing this up is what astounded me one time is he said, there's a piece of plank over there that's kind of, you know, lifted up a little bit. And I said, oh, okay. And he goes, I see with my feet a lot. I was like, because all your other senses are heightened when you're missing one.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think that's dyslexia in general. I think the human body, the human brain, you always have workarounds. There's always a workaround no matter what you're, and I hate calling it a disability because I don't think it is.
Challenge.
It's a challenge, yeah.
Big challenge.
Yeah, but we all have challenges in life.
Yes, mine is on top of my shoulders.
Yes, you and me both.
So did you have a lot of siblings? Do you have a lot of siblings?
I do have quite a few. Older brother, older sister, myself, and a younger brother and a stepbrother.
Okay, did anybody else have the same challenge?
It's funny you say that. My brother started dating someone here a couple years ago. She goes, you know, you and Michael are just alike. You're both dyslexic. But he has a secretary and dictates everything, and I'm not quite to that point.
Okay, got it.
But AI's really helped a lot because I can dictate anything and then send it to my marketing team, and they decipher what I just said.
Yeah. So you're an amazing example of somebody that has this huge challenge that a lot of the rest of us don't have. And it's more like it's an asset for you in a way, right? I mean, your memory, all these things I find you amazing already, David. We just met. So
well, thank you.
Yeah. I'm still working on Travis, but
yeah, Travis has a long ways to go.
I'm kidding.
I had a job once that they paid me just to listen to the group, and afterwards I would tell them my perspective of what they said. It was all about business, and I see things that people don't see. And I correct, my wife's an English teacher. I used to correct her friends' stuff because words would pop out at me. I had no idea what they were, but they would pop out.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's incredible, actually.
So tell us a little about your military background.
So as a policeman, like my father and my uncle, it was a great job. I loved every bit of it. Got to carry a nice weapon. I found out that you can't take a radar gun and shoot it at a prop plane because the prop goes too fast.
I didn't know that.
So hang on, you were an MP in the military?
Police officer.
Okay, police
And
officer.
so I built a cheat sheet for everything. So all I had to do is put their name, license in.
Got it. Wow.
I had a great time until I got hit in the head with a jack of a vehicle. Had a traumatic brain injury. And
Okay, like,
Gary is never going to change his tire ever again now.
let's go back and start what hasn't happened to you. Let's just do that. Seriously, so someone attacked you?
I've been stabbed, I've been shot at, but I haven't been killed yet.
I see that.
At least from that standpoint.
Let's not do that today.
Holy smokes. I don't think we have
Wow.
enough we have a break coming up here. And now we have to talk about shot, stabbed, and hit with a jack.
And we'll
a
title
hit
it
with a Jeep.
Turning Obstacles into Purpose.
Yeah, no kidding.
Perfect. Wow.
Because we got lots of obstacles here. Let's run to a break real quick. You're listening to Inside Business. Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish. We're talking with David Staenberg, the David Staenberg Family Foundation, and we will have more right after this break.
No fluff, no theory, just real business. This is Inside Business with Travis Filing and Gary Tharnish.
We're back on Inside Business. Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish. We're talking with David Staenberg. Just during the break, I'm like, okay, everybody shut up. This is all like too much interesting information just keeps flying out. We should almost cancel these shows that are on after us to keep David around here.
I know, no kidding.
But before we went to break, you said you were stabbed, you were shot, you were hit by a Jeep.
And somebody struck you with
Was
a
this
jack.
all at the same time? Was this like one bad night or?
No, I was shot at. I wasn't shot.
Oh, all right.
I like
Oh, well, then what are you complaining about?
I'm not.
Yes,
I got hit in the head with a jack, which cracked my sinus. So I got sober, and I've had 40 years of sinus infections. So I'm working through that now as I get older.
And is that what led to your addiction? Was the getting hit by this jack?
I think I always drank a little, and I was tall. I used to go on ski trips. When I was a kid, I could buy the beer, and everyone drink it.
I
I wasn't really into beer. I've never been into beer, but I was an entrepreneur from the get-go.
love it.
Being hit in the head, I started drinking because it took away the pain, took away
Sure.
I have tremors.
Self-medicated. I get it.
Yep. And then I lived in Alaska, and marijuana was legal, and one thing leads to another. I became a great addict, except I knew I'd die if I kept doing what I was doing, which I actually died once from an overdose. And then I got sober, and that wasn't very much fun. I didn't see the pearly lights or the gates, so I started helping people.
Nice.
And I have, even in high school, I was a peer counselor, volunteer, police officer, cadet. I did everything just to help people. That's all I've ever done.
Well, I've never asked somebody with dyslexia to spell something, but I bet you can't spell underachiever.
Yeah, right.
Like,
That word does not exist.
I feel
David.
so insufficient at what I've done in my life. It's amazing. You are truly an inspiration. I mean,
you.
thank you. I mean, you've obviously given back to the world. You'll leave a legacy for sure.
I am.
So how long were you in the military?
3 years.
Okay. And was the accident what got you out of the military or?
That was part of it. I had 3 knee surgeries. They told me I could be promoted and sit at a desk. I'm a little too AHD, whatever that is.
ADWTT,
Right.
WPS. Yes, I get it.
So I got out, worked in Alaska for about 3 years.
What'd you do there?
I was what they called a floor manager, but it's called a bouncer and everywhere else.
Okay.
And
I love
I
it.
made a lot of money,
Floor manager.
grew my hair to almost my belt, put some earrings in my ear, and thought I was living the life. And then I moved home because I didn't want to die there. And I just picked up where I left off. All my friends I thought were so innocent until I came home, and they were just like me. So
Partiers. I love it.
I was a security officer, correction officer, big in sales, because I could talk to anyone. I
Sure.
just had troubles writing like a receipt to someone.
Yeah.
I couldn't do a job application, but I would always say, I forgot my glasses. Can I take it home? Someone would fill it out. I'd take it back. I'd win the job.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
find ways to
Find
make it
those
work.
workarounds, man. That's
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. Gosh, it's just amazing. So you grew up in Omaha.
Well, yep,
Okay. And then went into the military right after high school?
right after high school.
Okay.
I went in early so I could get the original GI Bill.
Okay. Got it.
Went to Europe for a month right out of high school, which was a great drinking experience. Because if you can stand up to a bar, you can drink at a bar.
Yes. Very much so there.
Came back and went to basic training.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Just incredible. Absolutely incredible. So off air, we were talking about you have an older brother and an older sister, and then another younger
Younger brother.
Okay. And so your older brother is a developer.
He is.
Okay.
And he does a foundation. He helps hundreds of people. He's kind of my inspiration to start a nonprofit.
Oh, nice.
So
It's just
And so,
amazing.
did you come from a background like were your parents entrepreneurs?
yeah, my mom started her own timeshare company, which grew really big. My father had the largest apartment complex. My grandfather started Wolf Brothers in Omaha. So
Gosh.
I came from a family that it was important to work, which my grandchildren always say, I'll cut your yard for like $25. And I said, when I was 7 or 8, we worked.
Yeah.
And we were grateful that they took us to a movie or bought us our clothes. We never asked for an allowance.
Yeah.
A different time.
$25. Yeah, it sure is, isn't it?
I always had friends like Alex. Well, both my kids, Peyton and Alex. I put them on commission, right? Because there's no allowance. There's no allowance in life, at least none that I've found yet. And people always said, you make your kids work for their money? Hey, I got to work for my money.
Yeah.
They got to work for, wait until they get to be 16, 17, 18. You got to work for your money. And then I would make them pay for vacation. You want to go vacation? This is how much your part is going to cost. This is how much the airline's tickets cost and all this. And I would make them pay their part. Now I put it in an account and I gave it back to them somewhere down the road.
Yeah.
But it's like, hey, this is life, man. You want to go do things? Cost money. You want to go. I think that's great. Yeah. Get out there and cut that grass.
Is there anybody in your life that was maybe somebody either that you looked up to or that, I mean, because you seem to me, you seem to have this incredible strength to, I don't even want to say overcome challenges because I think maybe you don't even see them as challenges. You just make things work. Is there anybody in your life that really instilled that in you or that you kind of went anybody like that, a family member or teacher?
My mother,
Your mom.
she always was into fashion design. We went to every Make-A-Wish event.
Yeah.
We've always been taught people give 10%.
Yeah.
We always gave 20 or 25%. But I had a teacher when I used and kind of overdosed. When I came back to school, he said, you can't read. Why don't you just do it verbally? And said, we'll help you figure this out. And
That
it was
was
the
nice.
first time anyone had noticed that I could take a test in 20 minutes. Everyone else was there for 2 hours. And I'd pull like a B or C, and I was happy at that. But once I started doing verbal tests, I could stand up there and teach the class because I heard it so many times and volunteered so many times. So
That's
it helps
incredible.
you learn how to talk to people.
So this teacher that helped you, how old were you then, you think, kind of? Like teenager?
34.
Oh, 34.
I didn't
Okay.
learn to read until I met my wife. She handed me a book, said every word you don't know, underline. If it's someone's name in the book, make up one of your family members, write it down. And
So is reading for you, I mean, so, because I'm ignorant to this, you don't know what you don't know. So has reading to you always been difficult with every word, and over time you memorize certain ones, and so now
I
that's how
memorized
it works?
what they looked
or-
like. 'Cause
Okay.
I didn't learn to read until I was 34.
Okay.
So,
You had been memorizing words,
yeah.
what they look like. Okay. Got
And
it.
they all fit on the tests the same. You get a pre-test. Most of the tests are the same thing. They move them around a little bit, but
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Wow. And you have 3 college degrees?
I have an associate's in addiction studies, a bachelor's in drug and alcohol counseling, and a master's in HR. I needed the master's so I could get my mental health credentials.
Nice.
That's crazy. I know. It's like you sit there and you look at the laundry list of your resume and go, gosh, where do we dive in? We got about a minute and a half here. Where do we dive in next?
I was complaining about something on the way here. I'm not going to complain about anything on the way home. That I can tell you.
So for somebody who has, I mean, you've had some pretty low points in your life with addiction and everything else. What's something that hitting rock bottom taught you that success couldn't teach you?
When I hit my very bottom, I owed about $100,000 in debt. I didn't have a credit score. I didn't even know what that meant. But it taught me that I could still get up and find something positive. When I worked in corrections, I started a smile card so people would smile. I think it's
Yes, I
important.
just got one. It's your 1,007,000th or something.
Yeah, we started out with one. The breakout, you print it off and you break them out. And over time, people said, oh, you have to ask permission. So that's why it says to anybody, they give me permission to hand it to them. They don't have to take it. I go to
gosh,
UNL
that's crazy. I love it.
and hand it out with college kids, and I can hand out 1,000. They hand out about 1 or 2 because I'll just walk up and talk to people.
Yeah. Nice.
So,
Well, we have another break coming up here, so let's run to that real quick. When we come back, it's 5 takeaways time. Obviously, we're going to do something a little different for 5 takeaways, but you're going to have to stick around to find out what. Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish, you're listening to Inside Business. We're talking with David Staenberg of the David Staenberg Family Foundation. That's a mouthful. Stick around.
Built by business owners for business owners. This is Inside Business with Travis Filing and Gary Tharnish.
You know, it's crazy. You're back on Inside Business. Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish, talking with David Staenberg. Didn't even stop to think. We've been doing this show for like 2.5 years now. And when I do show prep, 3, 4, 5 pages long, and I sent 5 pages of show prep to a dyslexic, and my son is dyslexic. You would think I would know better, but I don't.
You're human.
I don't.
You don't have to apologize for being human. It's okay.
Well, it's 5 takeaways time. And so this is where we give, or you give, 5 pieces of advice onto our listeners. It's typically it's about business, but I think yours were a little bit more about life when I read through them. And your first takeaway was invest in relationships before you need them. Tell us about that.
so I hand out a smile card to every person I meet. It's a great way to say hello and share my story, because my story is what sells who I am. The opportunity is I can talk to anyone. I don't care where you're at. If I'm in an airport, if I go on a cruise, my whole idea is if you talk to me and you like what I'm doing, then you help my foundation, which I've gotten money from a lot of interesting different places. The thing I learned is if you don't stand up and tell people who you are, and you walk in a room, I always suck my gut in, and I'm tall, so it helps people look right at you. And if you knew who I was, it's hard to miss me. in the last 3 years, I've put as many tattoos as I could on my arms. I get a lot of positive feedback from that, but it's still, I dress bright usually, and it helps you go. And I have like 4,000 people in my phone. Now, I can't tell you I know them all, but people come to me and say, so do you know so-and-so? Could you introduce me? All the time. And that's about building the relationships. When I go places, people always come up and talk to me.
Well, and that's very business oriented, right? We
Yeah.
always talk about the relationships as the most important thing. You do business with people you like. You have to know them and have a relationship with them to like them, and then you trust, and everything else falls into place.
Yeah.
Love that.
And your second takeaway here is don't be afraid to adapt.
So all my life I've adapted. If you can't read, you have to find other ways to communicate or learn. I've learned that everyone's hungry, so I used to buy lunch for a lot of people and they'd help me. But I also learned that if you talk to people and say, I can't do this, most people want to help you get
Sure.
across that finish line.
Certainly.
So I've learned to adapt almost everything I do. Like running a nonprofit, when I started my first one, I had no idea what a bylaw was or why you should follow it. But I had
Articles of incorporation, all that stuff.
I
Yeah.
hired a lawyer who sat down and explained the whole process. And it was pretty simple. It was more like a game of how to get around everything.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So what is the name of your nonprofit? Let's just do that really quick.
David Staenberg Family Foundation.
Okay. That's good. I just want to make sure that we got that out. And so, like, don't be afraid to adapt. I'm thinking to myself, you've had to do that every step of the way.
your life
I
has
mean,
been-
in a huge way, right? I mean, I'm just sitting here thinking it's like 2 steps forward and 4 back. 2 steps forward and 4 back, but you kept going and chugging, and it's been, I mean, I think amazing to me is like the man that landed on the moon, but I'm going to say you're pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So I think my biggest adaptation was when I used to run transitional living facilities, and I went in because everything became starry as I drove at night. I drove 3 cities every day, and I had an 800 blood sugar. I weighed 530 pounds. They said I'd be dead in 5 years at that rate. I adapted. It's taken 17 years, but I weigh 200 today. So I learned how to take care of myself. A lot of people helped me along the way, but that huge adaptation and then people are excited to follow me as well. So
That's crazy. So you lost 370 pounds?
Yeah.
somewhere right around there, yeah.
Wow.
And I've gone up and down a little bit. I did the yo-yo, but
Yeah, that's life.
I just go up. I don't like I just go up.
You eat too many sandwiches.
That's right.
Sandwiches. I like the one thing you've said repeatedly that I really like is that you would ask for help. But I noticed that every time you told a little story about where you asked for help, you first did for somebody. You didn't just ask, you gave somebody something they needed or helped them, or you were there for them, and then they helped you. I love that. Where it's just not like me, this is what I need and want. You have a very servant attitude.
correct. It's like networking. If you give 100 referrals away, you'll get 1 or 2. But after a while, people want to give you something because you help them.
There you go. See, you would love networking, Travis. Networking's not Travis's thing. I love
That
it.
is not my bag. So your third takeaway here is build the right team. And I think this goes more than business, but just in life.
Correct. I've had to learn that having a big board doesn't make it a good board. Last year, I asked some people to move on. They're nice people, but they're not going to help me get where I want to go. My goal when I started the Dyslexia Foundation, Smile Out Loud, I wanted to help a student go to college. And for the last 10 years, we've sent 1 youth every year to college. Now we have 3 scholarships, 2 in Omaha and 1 in Lincoln.
That's pretty cool.
And the ones in Omaha are a little get a little more money, but I got my family behind me, and we put it at West Side. That's where I graduated high school,
Okay.
not knowing how to read. It was a great experience. But now we give 3 different scholarships. I'd like to do one more before I'm done. We have, starting next year, we'll have 5 years of financial literacy for the Vet Center in Lincoln to help veterans understand what money is. Because most of us, when we get out of the Army, we get paid, we get medical, you have a bed. When you get out, it's all on your own.
Yeah, you've got to get rent somewhere. You got to provide your own 3 squares every day. Sure.
I always kind of wondered that, because to me, when you look at military, it's like your paycheck is almost walking around money.
Correct.
Because you have your food, you have shelter, you have transportation, you have all your needs are met, and the little amount of pay that you get is kind of your walking around money. That would be a hard transition.
It is, and most people fail terribly.
Yeah.
So
Along with so many other things coming out of the military.
Yeah.
I mean,
we
that's a
also
lot.
feed between 150 and 200 food pantries a month.
Of course you do.
Because
Oh my God.
That's just a
amazing.
little side hustle.
course
It's
you
just a
do.
little hobby.
So on Build the Right Team, you said something interesting about your board, the board for your nonprofit. So I've been on boards where you could be on it for life,
Oh yeah.
you know, and I'm on a board now where you have a 6-year period that you're on it and then you're out. And at first I was like, wow, I'm like really developing a love for this. I'm on my 4th year on the board. And, you know, I'll leave after my 6th year, but now I love the beauty of it because you're constantly at year 5 and 6, you are contributing to the new ones and they'll see how it works. So there's continuity. 6 years gives you continuity, but there's always fresh blood on that board. There's a lot to be said for that. Sometimes, well, I mean, a business board I was on here in Lincoln, I mean, it just got to the point where everybody just rubber stamped everybody because half the people didn't want to be there anyway. And it was just something you could put on your resume that you were on this board. And, I mean, it was, and I remember the one time well, more than once, but the first time I disagreed with everybody, it was like, you know, I was getting stoned for being, you know, on the wrong side.
A voice of dissension.
It was
He's
crazy.
interfering with our lunch.
Yeah, but teams are important, obviously.
yeah, and being a part of a team is a we.
Yeah,
I
not an
learned
I.
that at Walmart. I was a manager. I just wanted to be an associate. I became a manager pretty quick. And it wasn't me doing most of it. It was my team doing it. And when someone said, oh, what a great job, you should go thank them.
Yeah.
And they appreciated it. I still walk into Walmarts and people know me from 16, 17 years ago.
Oh, sure. Well, you're kind of unforgettable. I mean, I'm not going to forget you.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So
Well, let's hit your 4th takeaway is learn from your mistakes.
So I've made a lot of mistakes in my lifetime. Drinking and drugs are not the norm for most people. When I was a kid, I convinced a counselor at a camp that I was 15 because they got to go on this really cool trip to Canada. I was about 13. I was good at manipulation.
Did you go to Canada?
We did, but we had to cross this stream, and I fell and cracked my knee to my kneecap. And so
They found out your age.
they called my mother, which they should have. And my mother asked me, so what did you learn? Not to fall. I mean, at the point, I thought I was really good. But all those little mistakes have made who I am now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's better to tell the truth. When I got sober, I swore I would learn how to tell the truth. It took me a long time. I used to say, I really meant to say this. Now I tell the truth and people just look at you. Or they overpay you in a grocery store. I give them back the money.
Yeah.
It's the only way I can stay sober.
You know, curious, did you find, and I'm just kind of guessing here, but I'm thinking if I had those challenges when I was young, I probably would have lied about some stuff to hide it maybe, or this is a very personal question we just met. I mean, but was there any shame that went with that? I think that'd be so hard when everybody around you is reading. And do you think that kind of developed that a little bit?
That, and I had a teacher who stuck me in the hall.
Oh, of course. Because
And parents would walk by and teachers, and they would say, don't be like that kid.
Right. Oh, God.
So
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
sick when everyone stood up to read, I'd go to the nurse's office.
Gotcha.
I always did when everybody read out loud and you'd read like 5 sentences and then you're sitting in a circle and you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you'd count down to what you're going to read and then just practice. I never read a thing because I didn't listen because I was too busy trying not to embarrass myself. And I think that, again, that's a one exercise. It's a workaround, but
yeah, I always loved reading, so I was happy to be chosen. But and
my wife's just like that. She was an English teacher. She reads 100 books a year.
That's like my daughter.
Wow.
She's an English major, and she's the one that ran out of room. I just read War and Peace. It was so good. I'm like, you're in 7th grade. How long have you been reading War and Peace? I started Monday. It's Sunday. What? I'm like, she goes, well, you read it, haven't you? I go, I've closed it after the first page.
I'm still working on the same book all year.
That
but
doesn't
I
surprise
think
our producer at all. He's over there going, that's you, Gary. It's right in there.
the book I'm reading now, I've been working on it all year, but I think the engine is going to make it to the top. I'm pretty sure.
The little engine. Good. Oh, my gosh.
Let's hit our last takeaway. Your last takeaway is give back to the community.
So for me, I'm a giver, and
Can tell.
it's good and bad. People don't know how to take someone who's a giver. I like pens, and everyone who I meet, at some point I give one of my pens to with my foundation on it. But my wife and I also started it started out as a fidelity fund. I moved it to Thrivent because I'm here in Lincoln, and they also give back to you. So I can help so many different people that way. My foundation helps so many different people. Our third pillar is community service. We want to do things in the community next year. I've hit all my goals, but someone says, wow, my friend doesn't have groceries. I make sure they have groceries. I buy coffee at Starbucks or Scooters and pay for it when I go through the drive-thru and ask what the next person's is. Just pay for it and
That's
all
so cool.
Card.
The pay forward thing. I remember the first time somebody did that to me, and I got up and they go, "Here you go." And I go, "Well, you didn't take my debit card yet." "Oh, the person in front of you paid for it." And I go, "What? So I owe for both?" The guy goes, "No, what are you challenged?" "No, he paid for yours." And I'm like, "Well, how did he know what I got?" "Well, I told him." I'm like, "Oh," and he goes, "It's a good thing." And it was just so shocking to me.
Right.
I was like, it was kind of before it became, not popular, I guess, but you hear about it a little bit more now than you ever used to. I mean, that's amazing. So off air, we were talking, and you said that, and if I'm wrong, tell me, which I make mistakes all the time. I'm human. I don't know if you could tell. I look like an alien. But you said most people give 10%. The kind of amounts 10%, right? Like you should tithe 10% in the Bible.
Right.
A lot of people give 10%. Some give nothing. Whatever. But you said you always gave 20. Your mom did, or something kind of instilled that into you. That's pretty cool. I mean, there's a lot of books, a lot of talk out there that the more you give, the more you get. I'm a firm believer of that. And it's not just financial. It's helping people or being there when people are in need. You always get back more.
If I give, I get it back in so many different ways. The first real lesson on giving was Sister Stephanie. I worked at Sienna Francis House as a drug and alcohol.
So this is a
counselor.
nun, not your sister. Okay.
No, a nun.
I got it.
And we gave out all blankets. They had a wet side, a dry side, and some drunks came in. We had 2 sheets left. Give it to them.
Yeah.
You will be repaid.
Yeah, sure.
And I had no idea what that meant.
Yeah.
I was sober a few years. The next day, a church brought in like 50 quilts. She gave me a quilt and said, always hold on to this because you get 10% back of whatever you give out. Life will be great. I've gotten so much, my bucket's full every day.
That's so cool.
Wow. This has been a really cool 5 takeaways.
Yeah, no
this
kidding.
Has been fun. Well, we have a break coming up here, so let's run to that. You're listening to Inside Business. Travis File and Gary Thornberg. What did I just say? Gary Tharnish? I don't know.
Don't worry, Favis Tyler. It's okay.
I'm going to
you're
work on my
dyslexic.
words. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to work on my words during the break, and we will be back right after this.
Scion Breeder's going to get this Cedar Scion. What's your name? Oh, Brian. Sorry.
celebrating the risk takers who keep our communities growing. Inside Business with Travis Filing and Gary Tharnish.
Welcome back. You're listening to Inside Business. I'm Gary Tharnish. Co-host is Travis Filing. And we are speaking with David Staenberg. And if you've not heard the first part of the show, go to our podcast and listen to it when it gets out. It's InsideBusinessRadio.net. com. InsideBusinessRadio.com. You can find all of our podcasts there, but David's an amazing individual we've been chatting with. But David, we've talked a lot about your challenges in life, the things that you've done, and that you have this foundation. Let's dig into the foundation a little deeper. So it's the David Staenberg Family Foundation.
Correct.
And you, if I heard this correctly, you give out scholarships to students for college
that are dyslexic.
Okay, I didn't catch that part. Okay, cool. That's wonderful.
And we pay for financial literacy so much every year for the vet center. There's a Dave Ramsey guy there who teaches it.
Does the envelope thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, awesome. Great. So you're giving these scholarships away probably to high school students that are graduating?
Correct.
Do you do anything with the schools, or is there any place, let's say, like Alex, let's say I have a grandchild that's dyslexic. There's probably a lot more for them now than there used to be. Are you involved in any of that, or?
I belong to the Nebraska Dyslexia Association.
Okay.
I used to be on their board.
Okay.
I'm not a huge board person anymore.
Yeah.
We struggled for 10 years. It's hard to ask your friends for money every time you see them, which I'm pretty good at asking. But
yeah, just pretend you're a kid.
Yeah.
And that they're your parents.
Yeah. We started getting grants, which help.
Nice. Okay.
I've gone to my family, and we all put so much in to start 2 scholarships in Omaha where we graduated high school. But now we're not a huge foundation, but we have enough to help a lot of people. And it's having the right board members who will go out and say, have you heard of this guy?
Right.
And then if they want me to come speak, I'm good as long as I can do 5 points, because I can't quote a speech for you. Every day I put something on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, some thought that I had for the day, and I get a lot of feedback from that. We do different fundraisers. We're going to try to do cans for a van. We're going to try to fill a van full of canned goods because we give a lot of food away. We're getting a new online marketing with shirts that have dyslexia on it, financial literacy, support veterans. So I'm I have lots of great ideas. I try to just share those with my marketing team, and they say, oh yeah, we can do this, or that's way.
So I was going to ask about that. So you have staff.
I have board members, and we pay a marketing team. We do a newsletter.
Okay.
Goes to 13,000 people across the country, about 5,000 here.
So it's you, yourself, and I, and then you have a board, and then you have a marketing company that you work with.
Correct.
Okay, so it's really you.
Correct.
Okay. That's what I wanted to get to.
But
so that's a lot.
But Sunday, I got my grandkids, my daughter, son-in-law, my wife. We built about 90 food pantries. I gave 40 of them away today.
Jeez. It's amazing.
I have a partnership with Food Bank, so that helps.
Yeah.
And I have a partnership with Orphan Grain Train. And when they get food, they just bring it to me because they don't really do that.
Do we have time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Orphan Grain Train, because that's what you said you were doing when I first got here and met you. So I have heard of that before. I do not know anything about it.
So they take clothing. Most people get walkers or crutches. You don't know what to do with it. We take it. We make Mercy meals. It's 6 meals in a bag, so it's 6 portions.
Okay.
So I'm from Messiah. We made like 93,000 meals in about 6 hours. and we just shipped to Ukraine.
Okay, say that again.
93,000 meals in about 6.5 hours.
It took me like 3 hours to make a pot of chili.
Yeah, I can do scrambled eggs in about 20 minutes. That's my,
Okay.
that's all I do.
So, and Messiah Lutheran, is that about here in town? Okay. So did orphan grain train start from orphans, or
No,
I'm trying to,
people from Norfolk went to Russia and saw these people struggling and
Okay.
suffering. They came back and started the first orphan grain train.
okay.
I believe there's 29 across the country now.
Okay.
So for me, I like to work out. So I found a job that's perfect. They build all these pallets with like women's different things of women, summer, winter, shoes. Then they take them up to their warehouse second floor with no air conditioning, and I separate them out, rebuild them, shrink wrap them, and like 2 weeks ago we sent a container to Ukraine. Last week we sent one to Texas because of the flooding. They go to 72
okay.
different countries, and we put medical devices, wheelchairs,
Wow.
food, clothing. It's a great place. And I don't have enough to do, obviously, because I spend a lot of time there, too.
I'm going to tell you something, brother. I am tired just sitting here listening to you talk. I'm like, I've had a long day. I mean, I haven't, but just hearing what you do is crazy.
It's crazy because Shannon
Amazing.
does his marketing, right?
Oh,
and
okay.
so that's how I met David.
Got it.
And it's like they'll have their meeting like once a week, and then she'll come back and she'll go, "You won't believe what he's doing now." And it's like,
on top of.
I can't even get through my list for the day.
I know.
And it's like David's just out there running circles around me.
yeah. Good for you, though.
If you're busy, you stay alive. I have a lot of friends who've retired, and they sit around, and now they're in scooters because they can't walk.
I know.
I try to walk
It
5
is so
miles
true.
every day. Yesterday I did almost 10. I do it on a treadmill when it's 100 degrees out. But otherwise, I like walking outside.
Now, this is what. So you're in constant pain, though, right? Because of your injuries.
Yeah.
Because just sitting here, I can tell you're either your back
My
or your
back.
legs or something is hurting you.
So I've had 57 surgeries in my lifetime. And I'm 100% service connected, which means I'm 640% disabled as a veteran. 23 knee surgeries, 13 sinus surgeries. From the bottom to top, someone's touched me in some way or another. I choose not to have surgery if it's at all possible.
Sure.
I had gallbladder surgery, and they said, "You didn't know you were in pain?" I live in an 8 every day, but I don't think about it. I just move on.
Yeah, isn't that
That's
crazy? Because I'm sitting here going, how do you? I mean, we've all been at an 8 at one point in our life, but it's hard to get out of bed. How do you get out of bed every day in an 8 and go,
Wait,
I'm
I'm
going to
gonna
hit
guess.
5 miles?
You sleep standing up.
I don't.
No? Okay.
I wish it was.
It was just a guess.
No,
Could be another amazing thing about you.
I just love life. And
Yeah.
the more I do, the less I think about my pain.
Yeah.
And when people say, "I hope you have a nice day," every day is a nice day.
Well, yeah, David, you're an amazing human being. You're definitely an incredible inspiration. I mean, anybody listening to this, like, get with it. I know I need
right.
to. I'm sitting here thinking, I mean, we were talking off air and I was like, I don't know what we were chatting about, but I can't remember what I was even complaining about now on the way here because I'm kind of ashamed. I was kind of complaining about something, but it's like, hopefully I'm not going to be complaining a lot after this because I don't have much to complain about.
Well, I live it one day at a time, literally one day at a time.
There you go. Yeah.
So yesterday's gone. I don't know what tomorrow's bringing, so I'm going to live the best I can.
You remind
today.
me of your approach to life a little bit reminds me of a time that I was, I owned a different business for many, many years. I've only been a realtor for like 5 years, but there was a really difficult situation. And it was just, the only thing I could just see, there was so much negativity in this whole transaction. It was just the most negative thing. And Amy, my team lead, looked at me and she goes, listen, she goes, business isn't much different than life. And then there's challenges everywhere. She goes, so in this transaction, find the blessing. And when I did that, And then I started looking at other challenges I had from that perspective. It changes everything. As I listen to you, I'm thinking, you have a great perspective, right? Live each day. Every day's a choice. You can be happy. You can not be happy. You can smile. You can not smile. I mean, if, these cards he gives out are great, you guys. They're like yellow with a big smiley face on it. It's like you can't not be happy.
And it's a dyslexic smile, so it's not in the circle.
Oh, I didn't even put that together.
It's not.
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
I have
I
a
didn't
great
even put that
marketing
together.
team. Your
I know
wife.
you do.
That is, Shannon messed this up too. I'm kidding.
But look at the back. I wanted to be the president, so
I love it.
I got my
You probably could be the president if you put your mind to it.
Yeah,
I mean, you're doing everything else.
Yeah, he's probably on his way.
Yeah, it might be nice to have a president that is a little challenged on reading.
Well, we have another break coming up here, so let's run to the break. Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish, you're listening to Inside Business. We're talking with David Staenberg of the David Staenberg Family Foundation, and we are going to have This Needs an Adjustment right after this break.
No excuses, no safety nets, just business. This is Inside Business with Travis Filing and Gary Tharnish.
We're back on Inside Business. Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish, talking with David Staenberg of the David Staenberg Family Foundation, and it's time for This Needs an Adjustment, sponsored by Ascend Chiropractic, who we just found out is also your chiropractor.
Yeah,
and
Shane O'Brien.
you look like you
probably.
I almost feel like I'm in pain for you. You look so uncomfortable. I feel bad making
feel
you
bad.
sit in these horrible chairs.
I could stand.
Oh, you do whatever is comfortable for you. But when we were talking off the break about This Needs an Adjustment, we thought we'd take this in kind of a different direction. So it was an adjustment that you wish you would have made in your life.
Correct.
And what was that adjustment?
So I wish I would have never started to do drugs, because when you do that, you have to lie to almost everyone that you're not doing too much. Or
Yep.
I didn't drive around the block 4 times because I was worried I hit a car and then try to go find that car. So I'm grateful that I never ended up in jail or got a ticket, or God was on my side, which I didn't know who that was before I got sober. It's easy to say, I only had a couple drinks. I know a lot of people who do that. As a counselor, I used to just listen and remind them we only have 3 or 4 possibilities. You get sober, you go to jail, you go to treatment, or you die. And so...
Oh, what an interesting arraignment of choices.
And it's very true.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of people 20, 25 years, and they go out for some reason and say, I don't know what happened, because they are not doing the program. It's like cancer. Even though you're in remission, you still have to take care of yourself.
Right.
So,
Yeah. I have several friends who are sober and have gone through that, and you learn a lot. And over the years, just seeing friends, and I had suffered from addictions when I was in my 20s as well, and was able to just cold turkey get out of it. But it isn't that I don't remember those times. One thing I think that's unique about an addiction that's not talked a lot, at least from my perspective and friends and people I know that have gone through addiction, is that addiction is very isolating. You don't really think about it. Like sometimes you're the fun drunk at the party or whatever, but it really is a very isolating thing because you don't want to be found out. You don't want to hurt somebody when you're driving. You don't want work to know that, that's not water in your water bottle, whatever it might be. It's a lonely addiction often. Addiction is often very lonely.
and just because I got sober from drugs and alcohol, I still have, I have more pens than any one person should ever have. And I collect nice pens too, which I'm working on getting rid of because I don't want to leave them for someone else to get rid of.
Yeah.
But I have pens from $10 to $150. My mom got me started.
So you're trying to tell me this is an addiction?
It is an addiction.
Okay, but that won't hurt anybody.
It can. I've had to learn to take care of my family first.
Yeah, that's
Put money
true. If
away
you're
for-
buying a $100 pen you don't need. Okay, I
Yeah.
get it. Yeah, yeah. Sure.
I put money away for retirement because all my jobs were, I was a 5-year person. So I'd work somewhere 5 years and get a little bored, and then I'd go same field, but go somewhere else.
Yep.
It's hard to build a retirement fund. I was taught to give a portion of my money to my family, and my brother built shopping centers, so it worked out well for me. He gave us the last bit right before COVID. Otherwise, I'd probably have nothing. But I still put $200 or $300 away, and it's out of my disability funds and Social Security into a savings account. So I like to travel.
Yeah.
So
That's incredible. So when you finally realized that you had enough with the drinking, you had to stop, did you go into a program?
I'm raised Jewish. I think I still am. My little brother said, "You're 99% Jewish, David." I said, "Oh, good. I feel good about that."
I love it.
Most of my Jewish friends didn't understand how I could do so many drugs. I wasn't like them. So I met a friend who just got sober. He went to a church and said, "If you talk to my pastor, he will help you with treatment." It was Trinity Church. It's something else now on 156 in Dodge. And they read to me the 5 questions. I said, "Sure, I'll do that." They said, "Will you accept Christ?" I said, "Sure, I'd love to do that." Would you ask for forgiveness? I said, "Will you please forgive me?" I had no idea what that meant when I got sober. I was just trying to get treatment.
Right.
That was in August 10th. It'll be 38 years ago.
Wow. It's amazing.
And I really started to understand more about myself as I went to church. Some churches scare me. I remember going to one and everyone walked up and they put your hand on your head and they fell over. I looked at my friend, "I'm not falling over. I don't care what happens."
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have another surgery on your roster.
Right.
So, but I've learned a lot. I like going to Bible studies. I get a little bored sometimes sitting in an hour at church. It's a great place to write a letter. But I find ways and I have mentors who are very Christian.
Yeah.
And they help me understand what I'm going through.
Yeah.
So that's how I got treatment.
Yeah. So I remember a friend of mine that was in AA, and I would say, "Oh, I'm so proud of you. You haven't, drank for 5 years." And I would kind of just, every time I saw him, for some reason, I would like compliment him. And finally he goes, "I appreciate that you say that because it does mean something and the years make a difference." He goes, "If you ever want to help me in a way, if that's kind of what you're trying to do, just say, 'Hey, I'm proud of you that you didn't drink today.'"
Correct.
He goes, "Because it takes every day. It's
Yeah.
that challenging." I was like, wow. And I've always said with the addiction of alcohol, the thing is, it is everywhere, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you have a cocaine addiction and you can break yourself of it, you're not going to be sitting on a board meeting someday where they're going, "Let's have a fundraiser and we'll do, and somebody bring the liquor and
Someone
bring
just
whatever,
takes a
and be
bump
sure
next
that you
to
bring
you
the
and-
Coke."
Yeah.
If you do, it's the 2-liter bottle of Coke. It's not cocaine. I mean, so for alcoholism, if that's your challenge, it is everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, you go to, it's pretty much everywhere. So it's in front of you all the time.
I'm very blessed. My wife she chose not to drink because I don't drink. And so I love the Green Coteau. And they always bring this bottle that looks like they made it in the back room. But it's, my wife goes, "We don't drink."
Yeah.
So, and I made a promise to my wife 32 years ago when we got married. If I drink or do drugs, you have to divorce me. Because I was terrible when I got sober. So, and I told my kids.
You mean you were terrible when you drank?
As a person, yeah.
Yeah.
I was a nightmare, just waiting to happen.
So are you good around people that are drinking?
Oh, my whole family drinks, so I
Okay.
don't care if they drink.
Yeah, because usually Gary and I are having cocktails at 10 in the morning here, but we didn't today. I'm just
As long as you have a Diet Coke, or my favorite is root beer.
yes. We don't know what's in Gary's coffee cup over there, but
It's sugar-free cream soda, if you want to know.
Oh, that's great.
I like cream soda.
I'd like to have root beer floats for my 38th birthday. I had
there
a
you go.
kegger
Like
of
those
root
too.
beer for my 21st birthday.
Oh, man.
Nice. I love it.
So,
So do you live in Lincoln? So you live in Lincoln?
I live in Lincoln.
Now? Okay, from Omaha, you live in Lincoln. And you've mentioned your wife a few times. What's her name?
Linda,
Linda. And you've been married how many years?
32.
32.
Been
And
together about 35.
Okay, she's an English
She's a
teacher.
retired librarian now, but she
Ah,
was
okay.
an English teacher when I met her.
Got it. Did she work here in Lincoln at
Yeah, at
Lincoln City Libraries? Bennett Martin or Clinton? Nice.
the one next to the Capitol.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. That's great. And so do you have any kids?
I have 3. I'm a stepfather, so I have
Okay.
3 kids. They're like my own. My
Sure, of course.
daughter Gina has our grandson Bennett.
Isn't that the best?
Yeah.
Grandkids are the best.
My son has 2 daughters.
Okay.
And my youngest daughter, who is a lot of fun, she's kind of like me. She likes to give. She has 4 children, somewhere between 5, and our oldest is going to be 21.
Wow.
Quite a break.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
So,
Nice.
Well, I was say we have another break coming up here, so let's run to our break real quick. You're listening to Inside Business. Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish. We're talking with David Staenberg of the David Staenberg Family Foundation, and we will have more right after this break.
Early mornings, late nights, real pressure. If you've ever built something from nothing, you're in the right place. This is Inside Business with Travis Filing and Gary Tharnish.
And that's the perfect intro because that's actually my note, is building something from nothing. So you're listening to Inside Business, Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish. We're talking with David Staenberg, the David Staenberg Family Foundation. And I want to ask you about building something from nothing, because when you came out of the military and you started kind of going on with life and getting through your addiction, you had nothing, and you're building something from nothing. So tell us about that journey of just building it.
So I remember I was a little in debt, and my mother took me to a bank and said, "You're going to borrow this." She had a lot of friends. And I borrowed $1,000. I put it in a savings account, and I paid payments. I paid interest. But then when I paid that off, I borrowed $2,000. She taught me how to build credit because I had none.
Got it.
And that's with life, too. You have to build credit with people. They have to trust you. When you say you're going to show up, you have to show up on time,
You have to be authentic.
authentic.
It's huge.
I've been a counselor. I've been a manager of Walmart. I have 5 coaching certificates. I have about 80 different courses I've taken where you take a course for 2 or 3 days. Most of them are pretty simple, so you didn't have to do a test. 3 college degrees. I wanted to be better than what I thought I should be. Because if you have a little more credentials behind your name, people look at you different. But really, people just want to know who you are. So that's what I built on.
So tell me again, the free smile card. How did that start exactly?
So I worked in a prison in Lincoln
Okay.
as a counselor.
Okay.
And I'd walk into groups every day, and everyone would just stare at you. They were depressed, sad.
Sure.
So, which I understood.
I would think so.
It's
Yeah.
hard when everyone leaves, or we bring in food, which is really good. It's like tormenting people. So I went to the warden of the correctional facility I was at, and I said, I'd like to make up a card that said, "Free smile." I want to hand them out to my group, because that's contraband in most cases. So he talked to everyone.
A business card would be?
Yeah, because
I suppose you would
Well,
have
they're like
information.
MacGyver in there, man.
Yeah, I get it.
They'll
I
make
get
a machete out of a business card.
hooch is, well, I used to love to go look for that because I could smell it. So I can't anymore.
What's
It would be
hooch?
That's like
Pruno, the
juice and bread, and the yeast grows it, and then they have alcohol.
Got it.
So I got permission, and then I had a friend who was a lawyer who said, you need to put to any participating human being, because just giving them something, they could sue you, which it has. Then we put pass it forward for free smiles for life. A couple years ago, I added joy and happiness. But I've handed out over 1 million smile cards everywhere I go. I like Europe, so I've been there a few times. We were in April, I was on the Tulip.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I wanted to do that.
In Denmark?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun,
how
but I handed 1,000 smile cards in a week. So everywhere I go, I hand them out.
And it doesn't matter what country you're in.
Yep.
I think that's really cool. I mean, I enjoy mine. It does make me smile.
So how can people help the foundation?
So you could go to our website, David Staenberg Family Foundation.org, sign up for the newsletter, see what people have to say. You could sponsor the newsletter. Everything that we don't pay to the people who send it out goes to either veterans or dyslexic youth. If you wanted to make me smile, you could donate $10 or $100,000. 98% of every dollar goes into our foundation.
That's amazing.
So
That's great.
we've raised enough, and we've got enough grants that we can have transformation marketing, do our newsletter, help me create my newsletter each month, which I dictate, and then they make it sound correct.
Sure. Yeah.
Every week or every month we buy a pallet of water. Hy-Vee's become a partner, and we get a cost for that. We have partners with the food bank, Orphan Grain Train, lots of different partners, because that's how you grow a business, and that's how we grow.
Yeah.
And if I can give enough away, my board sometimes stares at me a little bit, but like F Street Rec Center called the other week and said, it's $4 a shower, and I said, I'll give you $100 a month to help with people's showers.
You see, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So we're running out of time. The
know we
show
are.
is over, but I have to tell you, David, this has been one of the most uplifting interviews I've ever done.
Okay.
Yeah, you should be very proud of yourself. Good for you.
And
You're a
it's
good
the
human.
David Staenberg Family Foundation.org, right? And how do you spell that?
David, D-A-V-I-D, Staenberg, S-T-A-E-N-B-E-R-G, family, F.
Oh, we don't have to do family.
We got those.
But
Cool.
fantastic. Well, thank you so much for coming in and talking to us. And we appreciate it. And we've enjoyed having you. So you've been listening to Inside Business. Travis File and Gary Tharnish. We've been talking with David Staenberg, David Staenberg Family Foundation.org. And we will see you all next week.